Emergency responders have been mapping out life-saving devices in the Low Country for a few years now, but they need your help to make the database even bigger.
When someone experiences cardiac arrest, there's one big thing that can help them save their life. But as Carter Coyle explains, you have to know what to do before paramedics get there.
Tony Butler and his basketball teammates are mostly in their 60s and 70s, but he says they love playing like they're 19 again.
My checkups were always good, my blood pressure was good, and it happened.
On December 1st last year, he just wrapped up a game at the Mount Pleasant Town Hall gym. The guys playing the next game convinced him to stay and join in.
I was there about 5 minutes and didn't feel right. So I went and sat on the bench, and they tell me I slid onto the floor and was gone.
His heart stopped. One player called 911. Someone else ran to the police station next door.
And one of them went to the office and got the AED. They zapped me 2 or 3 times. The next thing I remember is being in the ambulance going across the bridge.
Most of you know what CPR is, chest compressions to keep blood moving through the heart. An AED is an automated external defibrillator, a computerized device that can give an electric shock and essentially reset someone's heart.
It hurts my rib.
Today, his ribs are still sore. It's hard to play ball, but the physical pain will go away. The emotional pain, thinking about what his family has been through, that's still tough.
But I'm alive, yeah. Well, I still get emotional about it, they're grateful, of course. My poor wife went through probably more than I did.
Getting that call.
Yeah. Not knowing, having to go to the hospital, told to hurry.
Most cardiac arrests don't turn out like Butler's. Only about 25% survive.
Every second counts.
Dr. David French and medical student Lisa Petruncio researched it locally, and they found the majority of people are willing to help in a medical emergency.
But they're just not quite sure how. And what was actually pretty scary to us is that only about 2% of people actually spontaneously thought of using an AED.
Really, people have just a few minutes to intervene before there's either permanent brain damage or we can't reverse the cardiac arrest at all.
Turn it on.
Lisa trained me how to use an AED in just a few minutes.
Check responsiveness. Call for help. Attach defib pads to patient's bare chest.
And it has pictures so you can see exactly where to put it.
Shock advised. Don't touch patient. Press flashing shock button. Shock delivered. Start CPR.
I would feel 100 times more comfortable now doing it that I've practiced.
Right, and that's why we want people to come out and use these, put their hands on the device, really get comfortable.
In an emergency, you don't have to be trained. Anyone can use it, but you do have to know where it is.
That's where we've got the AED registration.
EMS Division Chief Carl Fair says that's why they created an AED database to make it easier when someone calls 911.
Okay, yes, sir.
And so they'll talk you through the process of doing CPR, but they'll also be able to tell you where the AED is.
There are 500 devices registered so far. Most are in Charleston County, but there are a lot more businesses and buildings out there, and they believe a lot more AEDs too. They especially want to add more from Dorchester and Berkeley counties. Chief Fair checked for me, and turns out Live 5 was not in the database yet. So I added it online, described exactly where our AED is near the newsroom, a quick submit, and done. Took maybe 2 minutes.
That AED location will pop up in the dispatch notes, and so the dispatcher will actually be able to see where the AED is in the building.
He says this registry is critical.
There's a seat. Nobody else will sit in it now.
It could be your dad or basketball buddy who needs help next.
I think every business should have one. I'm very lucky. I feel blessed.
An AED won't do anyone any good if it's not working. Just like a smoke detector, you have to check the batteries every year. I checked ours here at Live 5. It doesn't expire until next year. See the red tag here? You want to check that on yours at your business or building as well. You also want to check the defib pads to make sure they're not expired. I'll post all this information on our website, live5news.com.